Yay! We are live, and we have Maura Quint joining us, who is joining us from a store that sells backgrounds that are perfect for podcasting.
Yes, but the lighting is not. That's the trade-off.
Oh, all right. Yeah, no,
You only get the background.
I think it's fine. I'm happy to have you. Thank you very much for joining me. Appreciate you giving us your time, wisdom, ideas, and all of the rest.
Happy to be here.
Quiet piggy.
It's probably all you're saying now. Like that one really. I was just I can tell.
I was just at the gym, and this woman did not want to let me work in, use the machine while she was using it. I just let her have it. I just gave her a quiet piggy, and I felt better about myself.
What I say to myself every morning. I don't know how he got my internal monologue, but there you have it.
When he said it, you were like,
it was very disturbing. I mean, you don't want to hear your inside thoughts outside.
Do you think that men in general, do you think he treats women differently than male reporters, different than, or any other
question? Are you asking that? Like, is that a legitimate question at this point in time?
Do
I think Donald Trump has treats women differently than he treats men? Yes, Pete. Yes, I do. Let's go back to, I don't know, 2005 when that question might still be relevant. Yeah, I mean, he's a fucking piece of shit misogynist. He hates women.
Actually, in 2004 was when I was on The Apprentice, and the reason I passed on meeting him was because of how he was with women, and that was all that was in my mind. I was like, oh, that guy that's like definitely raped women? It was on The Apprentice. We knew then when he was on The Apprentice.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everyone's always known. He's a vile human. I mean, I don't think he thinks other people are real, regardless. Like, he definitely does not believe that other humans exist. But I think he still does sort of vie a little bit for like the approval of men. They are still something to impress generally, whereas women are non-entities. Women have no humanity to him. They do not exist. They are merely tools,
vessels.
Yeah,
vessels.
Yeah, absolutely. And the disturbing thing that I found, I didn't know. Like, I was so sheltered, I guess, honestly, that I didn't know how many men saw women that way. But it's not just him.
Why I don't understand why you're saying, like, you didn't know that until when? Recently?
I mean, like in the last 10 years, probably. Like, I even knew there were men who hated women, but I still thought they saw them as people. But like, no, I'm increasingly understanding that there are a lot of men who, like, they see women as non-entities, as like they zap the humanity out of women. It's really awful, but fascinating to me.
I used to see women as human and my equal, and then I tried a dating app.
And then you realized they were all better than you? I assume that's where you're going.
It's no, that you can take a human's face and swipe it off of your screen and out of your life. Like, no, not that thing or that thing that would want to be with this thing. It's just
oh, you don't just say yes to every woman. Isn't that the like dude trick? They just say yes to every woman and then wait to see what their matches are and then go from there.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Oh yeah. That's a standard dude thing. Just like not even look. Just yes. Then once they have matches, go back through and evaluate like who of the matches they are interested in speaking to again.
That's even worse though, because then that's a bad thing to do, because then you're telling someone you like them when you don't in any way. You're just percentages.
Yeah, it contributes hugely to like so many women having horror stories from the apps.
I only swipe on like 11s and 12s, even though I'm a 4.
Oh, you really saved yourself with that last number there. We're way too into the pedophilia conversations to like just be throwing that out there, Pete.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's do that then, because I don't think it's nearly as bad to rape a 15-year-old as an 8-year-old.
You can't even say it. How do you even say those words? I'm like, ugh.
What are your? I mean, is that something? What are your thoughts about Well, I mean, she said that. Megyn Kelly said that. Yeah. I guess it's other. The other question I want to ask you is like, what's the difference between women upholding patriarchy and women supporting abusive men and keeping them in power in their position? And not only, you know, and I think it's an important lesson for all of us in the workplace, in your lives, in any way, because that's a lot of what we're seeing. I saw this Congresswoman Salazar, a woman, I don't know where she's from, but she's a Republican Congresswoman, and she was asked about the comment Jake Tapper asked her about Quiet Piggy, and she absolutely defended it, as have others. Caroline Leavitt defends him every day, and women do this. So what are your thoughts, Megyn Kelly? What are your thoughts?
I don't think it's, I mean, like, what do we want to say? We live in patriarchy. Misogyny is inherent to many, if not most of us. I don't think there's a lot of difference between the men and the women who do it. I think we want there to be a difference. We want to be able to be like, oh, look at these women. Like we want to sort of separate out the women and be like, don't you see? But like, I don't know. They're the same as the men to me. They're just vying for power from those who they think will grant it to them. And it doesn't really make a sense. Like, they don't care. I don't think the gender here matters one bit. I don't think it makes any difference if it is a man or a woman upholding and defending these, you know, reprehensible statements. I don't really have a lot of, like, to me, there's not a lot of difference between Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell or whatever her name is. Like, that, it's all the same thing.
Well,
they should all be dead.
I mean,
more dead. Dead again. Kill them again.
Specifically with those two, she procured women for him. And
yeah, and I mean, it's all feeding the same thing, you know. I don't know why she did that, but my guess is some sort of power and access, or maybe it's her sexual proclivity. I don't know. I don't know that Megyn Kelly's not a fucking rapist and a pedophile. Maybe she is. I don't know. I don't care to know. Like, she's as bad as they are. I don't care who's physically doing an action versus like supporting the action. It's all the exact same swirl to me, and fuck them all.
Who's worse, the priest who molests a child or the priest who knows it and then moves that priest to another parish?
Again, they're all the same. It's all the same to me. I'm so tired of splitting hairs on this shit and trying to like pull some like degrees of evil and good. That's for somebody's God to do. I'm not going to muck with that. Let's just dump them in the bucket of evil and say that's bad. Like, I don't need to split any hairs here. There's no reason for it. Anyone contributing to this is a piece of shit.
Well done. Well said. I agree with it. I agree with all that. I don't want to, I think it's fair. I think it's absolutely fair. And I've been trying to kind of ask that question. I've asked that question to a couple of people and none of them have said that. It's quite like that. I mean, I think you're absolutely right. I don't know how you can see it differently.
I do think there are times for us to like get really into the nuance or try to like, but I don't think this is one. I just do not think this is worthy of it. I think you are talking about a bunch of people rowing in the same evil direction. And I really don't care whose stroke made more difference. They're all there.
How much worse is it when a political leader is committing these types of crimes against children? Or, I mean, the idea specifically I'm thinking about, again, someone, I think it was that Congresswoman again, who says, I'm not concerned about personality. I care about like policy and performance. I'm like, when did we stop? Isn't personality soup like the most important thing, actually, no matter before your policies?
I mean, there are times to say I don't care about personality, I'm for policy. That's a fair statement in lots and lots of other places, but not when the personality that you're dismissing is abusive. But additionally, the policies that you're pursuing are also abusive. So, I mean, like, what does it matter? It's all the same thing for her. She wants people to suffer. That's the goal of the Republican Party at this point. That's the goal of Republican politicians at this point, is to cause the maximum amount of suffering so that a few people can benefit. She thinks she's going to be in the tiny little subsection that benefits. So what does she care if people are suffering because you've killed them because you've taken their health care, or they're starving or homeless, or you've said an insulting thing to them. It's all the same end to her. She has a very clear point, and they all do. They would love to spit in your face, to call you names, to, stab you through the throat if they could. It doesn't matter. It's all the same purpose.
And isn't then everything I've started talking to you about here add up to covering in any way for anyone involved with Jeffrey Epstein's schemes over the years? Because that's exactly, and furthermore, the idea that you would cover for someone or be worried about someone being exposed because they were on your political team. Like, I think somebody asked Democrat Scott Murphy on CNN, what if when we get the files exposed, there are Democrats in it? He's like, why would I care about that?
Why would any of us care? I mean, that's nobody over here cares. Like, really, nobody does. I don't know. Maybe the Clintons care because they're going to be in it, but like, I don't know. Nobody actually gives a fuck. Get rid of all of them. And I think in general, I will say, like, taking this much broader, I do a lot of work with canvassing. I do a lot of work with people on the ground. People are pissed off. They're sick of it. The Democratic Party has absolutely no confidence or faith. People would be more than happy to see both of the parties just absolutely go down in flames and just like, let's rebuild from the ashes. Ideally, let's build something else from the ashes. But there's not a lot of fealty going on here to the Democratic Party at all. Not from voters, certainly.
What are your thoughts about what, if anything, we're going to see, or what, if anything, has changed or should change as a result of learning more about who did what?
Are you talking specifically to Epstein stuff? I mean, I don't know. I have very little confidence. I also think that they will have scrubbed a lot of the Trump. Excuse me. I think they'll have scrubbed a lot of the Trump out of there. I mean, it's not as though, like, what faith do we have that they are releasing things that are true and compact and whole? I mean, this is an administration and a party that has been all about lying no matter what. So my only question is, like, are we actually going to see the whole of what was there? I strongly, strongly doubt it. As to what comes from that, I don't know. I have no idea, because we do not have a party. We do not have people in power right now who, for the most part, want to pursue what should actually happen, which is a lot of people should go away forever, whatever that means. That's not even me advocating for the carceral system, but they need to not exist here anymore.
After having said all of that, I was surprised to see you defending Larry Summers so much. Why? What, do you have something special in your heart for him?
He's my uncle. I love him. Oh my God, I hate him so much. Like, he just, I've had so much hatred for that man, more like longer than for so many of them. He's one of the first powerful men I ever hated.
Because of like his comments when he was Harvard president, or his economic policies, or all of it?
No, the Harvard president stuff was when he first, because that was prior to my like being all that plugged in to to politics and to things that were happening. But that one I read about, and I was so furious, and I could not believe that we were letting someone say these things and hold positions of power. I mean, I was past the point of like pure naivete. It's not as though I thought that the people in charge were like good people at that point, but I was surprised that he did not suffer consequences for that in any way. And that was infuriating. And that really taught me a lot. That was a big one for me.
Yeah. Well, apparently he has stepped away from his
what the hell does that mean? Stepped away from? Is he getting paid by anyone? I don't know. Like the institutions, and several of them Democratic left-leaning institutions that had him as a fellow or whatever, they've just kind of quietly removed him. And I'm sorry, but fuck all of that. The fact that he was there to begin with, it's really, really frustrating and really infuriating. And I'm about to shoot my own foot, because I work with some of these institutions, but I don't care. I will not be quiet about it. It's absolutely.
I mean, awful. Based on your foot injury history, I hope you'll shoot a different part of your body, is all I'm saying. Like, I don't think they can take it anymore.
They're pretty numb. I can't feel it at this point. It's fine.
I'm going through some of your posts on Blue Sky.
I'm so angry today, Pete. You had no idea when you. I'm
Oh,
like,
I mean,
I'm
like
like ready to fight.
whether or not that's as a result of what's happening or as a result of your day or what's going on in your life. Like,
Oh, it's just the news. My life is fine.
I'm happy to capture it because you speak. I think you are good at emoting for a lot of us. One of the reasons I like talking to you, frankly, is because I think when we see you, when we hear you, when we follow you on social media, it's like, yes, what she's saying. For example, I just found out that Megyn Kelly has a 14-year-old daughter. You posted.
Yeah, and that's all I said with that one too, because I didn't want to like. I knew the comments I would start getting on Blue Sky, so I wanted to leave that simply as its own statement.
You also attacked Olivia Nuzzi. You said the main thing I learned about Olivia Nuzzi is that is a woman with absolutely no female friends. In case people aren't following, look it up who she is.
or don't look it up. It is like
what like signals that
Real Housewives of Hell stuff with her. Like, I mean, it's pure entertainment value, but like, really, what are you wasting your time watching?
What do you, forgive me, but what do you see from her or someone else that would make you react with that kind of like, what does that mean that a woman doesn't have female friends?
Well, she has just horrific taste in men. Like she loves the worst men possible. And if you have any female friends, they would be like, I don't know that he's like great. Like, come on, let's go find you a dude who doesn't suck. Even if your taste runs towards like Nazism, which hers seems to, like, there's still like, I don't know. Surely there's someone more in your age range, at least. I don't know. Somebody who doesn't sound like he's actually dragging his throat over an open cheese grater. Like something like that. I mean, she's had, it's pretty awful. She definitely like, she's a hard one at this point now because of what we've learned about, her being like a teenager when she started dating Keith Olbermann, who was in his 50s or whatever. I mean, obviously her life hasn't been great. And I probably would have a little more sympathy if she hadn't said some racist shit. And like, I mean, there is a point where you have to allow people to be who they are and own who they are. So I have sympathy for whatever happened to her as a child, but I still find her absolutely reprehensible as an adult.
I love it. I love it. I don't know what you're talking about with the racist comments. I want to go look it up now, but like you said earlier, I'm good. I don't need to.
Yeah, it's fine. You're not your life is in no way going to be bettered by going down that path in any way.
I also am glad I asked about Larry Summers, not knowing how many posts you had made.
I hate him so much.
Rushing Larry Summers. Go follow Maura on Blue Sky right now. A lot of good things on there, including a viral thread about organizing and what you did and how you did it. It's a lot of people really liking that. I want to get to that in a minute, but also just finally wrapping up, the news on this days, weeks, months long Epstein file thing. I got to ask you about one more woman, and that's Marjorie Taylor Greene. What's the case? She is standing in front of all the Epstein survivors. She's saying all the right things there. And doesn't that matter?
I mean, look, I think that there is a split that is currently happening in the Republican Party in the extreme right wing, and there people are lining up their allegiances because Trump. I mean, even if he declares himself, dictator for life, that's not going to be a very long life. That man is going to die, and everyone knows it. And let's even say, like, okay, this is his second term. He can't run again. Let's assume that's something that they're going to follow. Like, the Republican Party and the right wing is going to need to keep going. They're going to need some figureheads, and they're having some splits, and some people are emerging as the leaders of various factions of the party, and she obviously wants to stake her claim in one place. Now, just because her claim has like some bits of non-insanity, that doesn't mean she's not a piece of shit. She's an absolute piece of shit. I don't really care if she stoops to pet a dog sometimes. Like, okay, cool. That does not erase the fact that she still continues to have and hold reprehensible positions and advocate for truly terrible things. I have no time for her, nor for anyone who wants to rehabilitate her in any way. She is trying to emerge as a right-wing leader that has a very specific following. And a lot of the right, the extreme right, was really focused on the Epstein stuff and on, like this global conspiracy of child trafficking. That was a lot of how the right wing started and came to be. And there's a strain of that, obviously, that is very good, but it goes down a really awful path really, really quickly. And the right has been happy to take it down that awful path. She is trying to reclaim those people. She wants to lead them, but that doesn't mean she's leading them into helping children. She just wants to be the figurehead.
Speaking of, and I saw this today, speaking of helping children, somebody posted, I don't remember exactly how she came on the scene, but one of the first horrible things that she said was something about denying the Sandy Hook shooting or something like that, like some Alex Jones shit. So I've always thought that was the worst thing that anybody had done or said in politics or in media, because we're used to super racist or super sexist, horrible things being said. But like to lose a child is the worst thing in the world. The only thing that can like make it worse, or nothing can make it worse, I guess, but like having someone tell you that the child never lived or the child never died or something, like, and to traffic in that seems to me to be the very lowest thing we've seen in American public discourse in our lifetime.
And we've seen a lot of it. We've seen a lot of it. I think it's, it is sickening. And, I mean, like, again, it's very frustrating to not believe in hell because, the desire to see these people burn is so, so intense. But no, I mean, these are the worst of the worst. And she's one of the worst of the worst. I mean, can people rehabilitate? Can they change? Of course they can. But that means owning the things that you've said and done, the harm that you have said and done, acknowledging it, and going down a path to explain why you've changed, and then making some sort of real effort to right the wrongs. She's not in any of that path. That's not her at all. She's not even acknowledging that anything she's ever done is bad. There's no reason for anyone to jump towards like, let's rehabilitate her. She's not trying to rehabilitate her. Like, it's a ridiculous, ridiculous thing. She's a terrible person.
Very well said. Very, very well said. Do you have anything to say about Dick Cheney's? He had this funeral today, and I was actually pretty aghast to see like Rachel Maddow sitting there, and I couldn't for the life of me understand why she would do that. And I posted about it.
Someone well of her, so huh? I know that everybody loves her, but I don't. So I'm like,
really? Yeah, I've never really been a fan myself. Actually, I mean, I think that she does good work oftentimes, but a lot of it, I've got issues. But more importantly, like I think that it's important not to normalize or to rewrite. And 1 million people died in Iraq. And the way I say it is that a generation of veterans were broken. It doesn't mean they all were, but I know that at one point there were 20 a day taking their own lives, addiction, divorce, so much more that has happened, moral injury, PTSD, and then you're going to go and show your respects. Because you're friends with Liz Cheney, or I just want to take one moment to say, at least for myself, and get your reaction. Obviously, his funeral today, his death, his funeral. I mean, I don't know. I covered that war. I talked to veterans over and over and over. I talked to so many different military people and journalists covering it. I'm aghast, disgusted by that man.
Yeah, no, he's disgusting. And the fact that anyone continues to do these sort of pleasantries or pay respects, I mean, that tells me who they are. Fuck her. Like, cool. I have nothing nice to say for anybody who would attend that. All they're telling me is that they value access to power more than anything else. And that's fine. That's good to know about them. But that means I don't respect you. Like, and I've felt that about her before. So that's not a new idea for me about her. And I mean, I understand that, like, yeah, we don't have a lot of people reporting on the left. She is a rare figure who has been permitted to. I don't want to say she's like the only one doing it. She's just been allowed to hold a space there where many others could do it much better. But that doesn't, I don't have to respect her because she's managed to do it. That's just probably why she's been allowed to do it, because she still is more than happy to lick a boot.
Ooh, wow. That made me want to lick a boot also. I don't know why. It's the way you said it.
Yeah, sure.
Have we talked since Donnie won and the woman, what's her name, Katie Wilson in Seattle won, and what your thoughts are on the rise of democratic socialism and the conversation around it, and on the left or in democratic?
I don't think we have. I mean, I think, I'm a fan of democratic socialism in general. I don't think that those are the words to use in every place. But I do think that running on believing in things and wanting to do things to help people is a good idea. And I think running candidates who have clear vision and true beliefs in anything good is only going to benefit us. And I think that the establishment Dems for far too long continue to be more than happy to run people who believe in nothing. And that's why we are where we are.
Well said. Believe in nothing. Well, what democratic socialists believe is misrepresented by the vast majority of people who talk about them. I think it would be helpful for a rebrand, FDR Democrat, or, Canadian Democrat, or, just like anybody who represents views in countries currently where they live longer, happier lives. Maybe this should be the longer, happier life party.
I mean,
because the word
sure.
It brings up so
much. I know, but it does that because the right has been so successful about using it as a hammer. And honestly, it's kind of amazing how quickly we can reclaim and claim words if we want to.
So we
could do a rebrand, or we could not, or we could say, hey, this stuff that you like, that's democratic socialism. And you say it enough and you have enough people who believe in it saying it, I think it shifts pretty quickly too.
Do you think that the party is shifting towards that direction all the way through? Or is it like a regional or somehow demographic? Older folks obviously are not as likely to.
I struggle sometimes. It's like, what do we mean by the party? We have party leadership. We have, and I don't think the party leadership is there. I think party leadership has made it quite clear that they are completely out of touch with people. Yeah. Do I think the average Democratic voter has shifted way far left? Yes, I would say the average Democratic voter is far to the left of where party leadership and party institutions think they should be. Now, how that realigns, I'm not sure. I mean, I think it needs to realign with a lot of ousting. A lot of people got to go.
Ousting. You should host a show called Ousting. This week, we're going to oust. And you name somebody who we didn't even know, but you introduced us to why, and we're like, oh yeah, that person should definitely be ousted. What did they do that for at CBS?
Wow, meet an asshole. I mean, I could do that. I've got a new person every day. I mean, almost every time I learn about someone, it's because I have to learn that I hate them. Like, very rarely am I going like, I didn't know this person before, but they seem great. That's like real in the minority. I would like more of that.
That's not really true because of what you've done over the past year, especially in organizing. It's been really remarkable. I'm so excited because it's obviously affected your life positively, but so many other people's lives positively. And you talked about this on a thread on Blue Sky this week, which I kind of wanted to just ask you about, because I think that is a very positive thing. And those are a lot of people that you didn't know the day before. And now you're working with them and organizing with them and doing amazing things. Tell me a little bit about it. Because you started a year ago, Trump won. I was furious and scared. So I sent a text to a few local women I knew and asked them to join me at a meeting. And invite more like-minded women they knew. A few showed up, and then a few more. We became a group called The Salon, and we meet monthly. You went on to talk about what you've done and why organizing is daunting but worth it. Say more.
Yeah, I think I've talked about this a bit here with you before, but yeah, I mean, I work in national politics. So after this election, I felt really defeated and really sad about like even just the work I was going to do and how that was, normally I take a lot of pride in that, but it just felt really hopeless. And it felt like the most important thing to do was going to be grow community. So that's what I tried to do. But it's hard for me because I live in central Pennsylvania. I know some people, but I moved there. Like a lot of my friends are in Los Angeles. I work sometimes in DC. I have lots of friends in New York and in Philly. I don't have like a strong social network where I live. So I felt kind of removed and out of touch. So yeah, it was very like I was not sure what would happen because I only knew a few people. And of them, they were like only kind of tentative on this, but they shared it around and they invited people. And after like 2 times meeting, maybe there was a woman who like one of the first things that I did was I had everybody go around the group and share what are your strengths? What is something that you can bring to a group like this? Because I felt like we all felt really powerless and hopeless. And I thought it would be a really good idea to like recognize that some of the things that we can do are powerful and our strengths. So I said even things like, it can be I have space, I can host something, I know how to cook, I know how to sew, I know people, or, because for me, I didn't really feel like I had a lot. What I could do is I can write an agenda, I can host a meeting, like I can do the like keep something going and running. And then one of the women eventually was like, I know people. That's my thing. I love like connecting people. And she went to work like, and then from there, it just kind of grew. Because I acknowledged right away, I'm like, that's not, I don't know people. I'm bad at that. I need that help. And we had a lot of that kind of synergy starting to come and grow. And yeah, and it's been really fantastic. And it is definitely a group that like sometimes we just complain and we cry and we always have tissue boxes out because somebody each time is like feeling stuff real intensely. Not each time, but a lot of times. And we also bring opportunities that we see to get involved, and we also bring problems that we see that we want to fix. And everybody, we have one woman who she works specifically with like wildlife, and she gave us a whole presentation on birds and how birds can explain the like health of your environment in all these different ways. And it was just stuff I would never otherwise know. And it's been really interesting and great. And we've done a lot in our year.
I love it. I love it so much. And if people want to replicate what you've done, you've invited them to contact you and tell you kind of what you've done. When you said we have the wildlife woman, I don't know why I jumped to, and she came to one of the meetings like that guy you could hire at the birthday party, and he brings like a Subaru station wagon worth of cages of critters, and she just brought to the meeting. She's like, we had an owl, an injured owl. There was a snake.
I learned that she does actually do that. Like she did it at like a fair or a festival, like specifically conservation wise, but like, yeah, it was pretty cool.
We did that. We had like one of my daughter's birthday parties. I think Julia's when she was like 6 or 7 or so, lady, or I don't know, showed up and just kept taking out cages, Tupperware.
Why don't we do that at adult parties? We should do that. We should hire those people. Like people would go crazy. They would love it.
I mean, it's important to introduce kids to nature, and you're not going to meet a lot of these critters up close. And so it's important so that you can value it, but it's just as important to reintroduce, or the first time, adults too, so you can see all the things we're killing.
I love to get a drunk adult around a ferret. I think it's great.
Oh, I don't want to tell you about a time I was drunk around a ferret, but I can tell you where it ended up.
We all know.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just inherently, just instinctively.
Well, we can. You didn't know. I wasn't drunk.
No. Okay. You can tell us who you were. It's all right. We'll accept it. We won't ask questions.
He's a baby ferret.
It's so much worse.
I acted like it wasn't as bad because it wasn't as big. How about this? What are you looking at on the economic policy front? How do you see, the government shutdown, what it achieved or didn't? And as we head into, the next year in terms of what you're advocating for, thinking about in terms of policy or legislation at any level of government, what's on your mind? What are you working on?
It's a really good question. And actually, honestly, I'm trying to like regroup and figure it out right now because it's really tough. It's really, really tough. I think the shutdown was was really difficult and a real struggle, and a pretty awful situation ultimately. People are suffering. They are going to continue to suffer. It is pretty dire right now. So I think a lot of what we're looking at is trying to organize locally. And I've been talking to a lot of states as well that are putting together coalitions to do more of what like Massachusetts passed with the millionaire's tax, because I think state work is going to be a bit more effective right now. We obviously don't have a lot of space to move things at the federal level. So getting involved in state initiatives and ballot initiatives and working on minimum wage and millionaire's tax and those types of initiatives are going to be pretty key in the next couple of years.
I feel like all these scandals are going to hurt the Republican brand so much that it makes Trump a lame duck, and it makes it very difficult. And we kind of knew this for Republicans in Congress to get any other legislation passed. Because they used to just sign on to all kinds of things, including, the tariffs, which wasn't legislation. Obviously, that's being brought to the Supreme Court as a result. Congress is supposed to have that power, but they just look the other way. They look the other way in oversight and everything. And I feel like they are going to be less likely to do that as a result of this scandal and what might be coming out. As also just it's possible that he loses his grip on the Republican Party as a result of his approval rating, him being so unpopular that connecting yourself with him, surprisingly, could be a bad thing. What do you think?
I mean, I do think that there are a few Republicans who are definitely like seeing that kind of wind blow. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene is one of them. I think she's setting herself up in that way. But for the most part, no, I think we're still seeing that, broadly speaking, the electeds are more than happy to like fall in line behind him with absolutely zero challenge to anything that he wants to do. So, I mean, maybe they'll start to peel off a little bit more, but I don't see it happening right now.
I almost was going to say, and maybe that means Republicans would propose or support policies that actually benefit the public. It's just that they never have. Like literally, there is not a policy. I'll make this argument that Republicans have put forward that has benefited the middle class or the public interest. And even if they did, on the other side, they're constantly degrading regulations, guidelines, norms that are in the public's interest, and the corruption amidst all of it is so apparent, obvious, and overt that people get more and more turned off to the brand, I think. I don't know.
I mean, I would certainly agree that at the federal level, Republicans have never made helping people the driving purpose of any piece of legislation. And any time that they've incidentally done that or tacked on a little like thing, it is a one step forward after you've taken 10 steps back. So it is never any sort of significant improvement. And in fact, it's usually because they have created so many terrible fires that they like might sprinkle a little bit on one little corner for a half a second. I think that's certainly true. Whether or not people know that, though, I don't know that people have fully accepted that. I think there is so much frustration at this point with politics in general. When I speak to people who are not following this all the time, they're really more and more likely to say, I don't even care. I don't care which side. It's all bad. Like there's such it's all worthless place. So yeah, Republicans might be torturing their brand, but the Dem brand has already been torched. So it's like, where are we now?
Well, though, I think that's what Mamdani was able to overcome, because he was able to present a personality a brand that was really people that weren't even paying attention to politics. Like, who is this guy? What is he doing? He's running around Manhattan. He's meeting everybody. He's really well spoken. He seems to have integrity. I mean, we'll see what happens with him. That could or could not, make people more cynical. But I do think that kind of politician, I feel like AOC is that way a lot as well. I mean, I don't know. I can name a few others that I think do a pretty good job at helping rebrand or fight the internal cynicism that a lot of people have, or the potential cynicism that especially young people might acquire just as the process of living in America leads to, it would seem.
Yeah, they're individuals, again, who stand for things, but I don't think that they are doing much to rehabilitate the Democratic Party, nor should they. I'm not saying that should be a goal, but I don't think people look at Mondami and say, oh, see, Dems aren't as bad as I thought. I think they think this guy stands for something, and that's what I want to see. Right.
All right. I'll let you go, except for last question. As I saw you posting about this, and I haven't mentioned it on air, I want to recognize the darkness has arrived.
It's so bad. So
I think it's important to recognize that we are in the spot, the real asshole of the year in terms of time, where it is getting dark around 4 and 4:30, whatever. We're approaching the shortest day of the year, which is December 21st. I remind myself of that. What I try to do is just stay mindful that it's going to get dark early today. Make sure I do anything I might want to do. Make sure I acknowledge, make sure I soak up the daylight as much as possible, and make sure I just realize, embrace myself, like just being present. This is me being serious. That's how I kind of cope with it.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of other things that we can do, but just remind us about your view. You had posted something about this. Funny. I forget where it was.
Well, no, I don't remember it being this bad. I don't know why I'm more sensitive to it this year, but like I didn't know I was like a depressed sunflower. Like the moment the sun is gone, I'm just like, well, there you go. That's it. All I can do is just sort of stand here and droop and wait until there's, a big orb that I can point towards. It's been awful.
Do it again. Do it again. The sunflower question that's dyeing the hair. I wish. Oh, there she goes. That's
how I am now. That's why if this is video and stuff, why I keep fiddling with my hair and because I was basically about to pass out before we did this. I was like, oh, it's like barely hanging on here.
What do you guys think of her audio? Because I think her audio is so good that when she said she didn't have her headphones or a mic, she's in a hotel, she just wanted to take a nap because her audio is like as good as anybody's audio has ever been.
Well, the Best Western in Lower Manhattan. It's
no idea.
It's great.
Thank you. Oh, did you mention anything to cope with it though? Is there anything? Is there candles? Is there scents? Is there journaling? Is there anything that you're doing? You're just recognizing?
Give up. It's just full give up. It's just like every day I'm like, okay, here's all the things I can do. And then I literally the countdown clock starts at 3 because you see the sun starting to drop. And I'm just like, do it as much as you can. And then I just collapse. It is the way I'm completely solar powered. And then I fall over and then I build a nest of blankets and I don't emerge until the sun does.
I want to know what there is data on this shows about alcohol consumption in countries or at the time of year when it gets darker earlier, because I think we tend to justify it or turn to it when it gets dark. Alcohol is something that we're more likely to drink when it's dark. Is that true? I mean, obviously we can drink it all the time, and you clearly by your face drank all day, but no,
I don't want to wait.
This time of year we drink more, I would imagine, or in
probably, yeah, because it's depressing.
Yeah,
and people turn to alcohol when they're depressed. You need a little upper stimulant sort of thing. But I do not put alcohol in the just when I'm depressed category, so it does not increase for me. The thing that increases for me is sleep. I'm by 6:30, I'm just well, I guess it's the middle of the night now. I don't know why I'm awake. It's ridiculous.
First is when you take a nap. I'm a napper, and I usually nap around 2. But
you're wasting precious sunlight. Why would you do that?
So I'll nap maybe later, and also if you wake up, if you go to bed when it's light and you wake up when it's dark, that's a mind fucker.
That's horrible. That sounds like hell. Don't do that.
Thank you very much.
Kill yourself. Anyway,
thank you very much. You're the best. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me. Thanks everybody for watching live. It's like 300 people here. Wow, look at that. Appreciate you very much, Mark. Keep up the great work. Bye, everybody.